It's my first time in Mississippi. I gotta say, this place is beautiful. They could not have picked a better place to host the debates. And they could not have picked a more beautiful crowd to be out here exercising your rights as Americans. Everything that our founders fought and died for right here. If you don't use it, it doesn't mean anything. But to see it on display like this makes me feel like it's beautiful to be American today. Now, I served in the Marine Corps for 6 years, and when I joined the Marine Corps, I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But some of us found out the hard way, thanks to a few neocon chicken hog draft dodgers, that the greatest enemies of the Constitution are not to be found in the sands of some far-off land, but rather right here at home.
Yeah.
And that is why I take it upon myself to continue to honor that oath and serve my country as a member of Iraq Veterans Against the War, Veterans for Peace, and the Campaign for Liberty. So when I was in Iraq, I volunteered to go to Iraq, and I went in civil affairs, and I was really excited about that because I thought that what we were going to be doing was rebuilding Iraq and doing good by the Iraqi people and really responsible foreign policy. And I was really excited about that. It was something that I was enthusiastic about risking my life for. But we were 6-man teams attached to regiments and battalions, and we had to beg these guys to go out and do our missions, the civil affairs missions that we were told were the most important in terms of the mission, in terms of rebuilding Iraq. So I had to go for myself to find out that rebuilding and doing the right thing was not really what we were there for. I found out the hard way. We were a fig leaf in civil affairs. The guys out there in Iraq who are really busting their butts every day to do the right thing and improve the lives of the Iraqi people, they're a fig leaf. I was a fig leaf. We were there to make them look good. And as soon as you choose looking good over doing right, you will fail miserably at both, and that is what we are doing in Iraq right now. And when it comes down to it, you can't win an occupation. So there's some candidates, we've heard some really refreshing rhetoric from that on, and one of them is Ron Paul, of course, who is no longer in the running for president. You know, broke my heart, and I see some Ron Paul t-shirts in the crowd. Thank you very much. It's beautiful. But you know, we hear from a lot of the corporate-sponsored candidates. We have to win in Iraq. We have to win in Iraq. What does that even mean? So we got a debate tonight. I live in D.C. and I hope that at the end of tonight, you guys aren't dealing with the same stench of corruption hanging over your town that we deal with in D.C. on a regular basis. But I hope you guys have a good time tonight with the 2 corporate-sponsored candidates, at least from D.C. I heard, is Cynthia McKinney going to be here tonight? No? There's no representative from the Green Party in the debate tonight? All right. Chuck Baldwin, Constitution Party. Is Chuck Baldwin going to be here tonight? No? We don't have Chuck Baldwin in the debate? How about Bob Barr, Libertarian for President? No, he's not going to be here. That guy will debate anybody. We don't have Bob Barr here? How about Ralph Nader? Is Ralph Nader in the debate tonight? No? That guy's been running for president his whole life. Can't we get him in one debate? Seriously, how many times has Ralph Nader run for president? Did I hear 8? Is it really that many? Anyways, as long as I've been involved, there's always been Ralph Nader on the ballot. But so who's here tonight? We got 2 candidates. We got 2 corporate-sponsored candidates, right? Isn't that the criteria for getting into this thing? How many McCain supporters in the crowd? Well, let me tell you something about John McCain. John McCain is a veteran, right? Right? John McCain served his country honorably. He swore the same oath that I did to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. And he makes himself out to be a veteran who really cares about veterans issues. He puts himself forward as a veteran, and he's running as a veteran and a former POW. You almost never hear him talk about anything else. But the fact of the matter is, on his voting record in the Senate, he has one of the worst voting records on veterans issues there is. He has voted repeatedly against funding the Department of Veterans Affairs. He has voted against rest periods for the troops coming home from the 4th and 5th deployments. He has voted against the new GI Bill that would restore the education benefits to what they were originally intended at the end of World War II, so that somebody who comes home after risking their life for this country can really get an education and a fair shake in America. He voted against that. Not only voted against it, he led the charge against it with what he called an alternative bill. That was actually a retention benefit for active duty troops. Not that that's a bad thing whatsoever, but people like John McCain who want to see this occupation continue and definitely have it in their best interest to make it look like being a veteran sucks in America today, because they want to increase the dependency on the military, which is why they're resorting and why McCain is supporting illegal tactics like stop loss and involuntary extension that have now affected over 100,000 troops. You think that means supporting the troops, dishonoring their contracts and keeping them on for their 5th and 6th tours now? I don't think so. So how many Obama supporters are there here? Obama for change, right? Obama to end the war, right? Well, I have some bad news about Obama too. We all know that he's a corporate-sponsored candidate just like McCain. We know that he's beholden to Wall Street. We know that he's supporting the bailouts. $700 billion about to hit the American economy in the form of an inflation tax, the most regressive tax there is, affecting America's poor and working class. But there's something else you should know about Obama, the anti-war candidate, right? He wants to keep 40,000 troops in Iraq indefinitely. He wants to continue the occupation, interfering with Iraqi sovereignty. He wants to increase reliance on private contractor mercenaries like Blackwater, the guys that have all those incidents one after another killing Iraqi civilians, the ones that are bad for troop morale. Because for me as a sergeant, I saw Blackwater doing half the work we were doing, living in the air-conditioned hooches on the other side of base with better weapons, civilian attire, and getting paid 3 times as much. That's bad for morale, and that's Obama's plan. And then on top of that, he wants a surge in Afghanistan. If you ask me, that sounds a lot like a pro-war candidate. Doesn't seem like we have a lot of choice here tonight. That's why I'm so concerned for the beautiful state of Mississippi now suffering from the stench of corruption that we have to deal with in Washington, D.C. every day. I hope you guys can deal with that. But let's be honest. Alexis de Tocqueville said in 1831 when he wrote Democracy in America that in a democracy, the people will get the government they deserve. And America is getting exactly what it deserves right now. For all of the blessings of this country, everything that makes this country great, we have fallen down on the job in terms of being responsible citizens and standing up for to our responsibilities, what it means to be a responsible American in this constitutional republic. It is our fault. The responsibility is square for the state of this country, the state of our economy, our interventionist foreign policy, the fact that we have troops in 150 countries around the world. It is on our shoulders as Americans. And it is up to us to do something about it. You want to rock the debate? How about start with educating yourselves, become an informed voter, educate yourself about the issues, share your passions with people who know that they have a responsibility to do something too, and share with them what you can do to get out and bring this country back to what it could be. But you want to really rock the debate? You want to rock this debate? Educate yourselves, look at the other candidates, examine your principles, examine what it means to be an American. Learn that there are principled candidates out there. Chuck Baldwin, Constitution Party. Ralph Nader, Independent. Bob Barr, Libertarian. Cynthia McKinney, Green Party. You want to rock the debate? Fuck the debate. Vote third party. Yeah.